You are literally breaking your Etheria restart account because you have been unknowingly or knowingly doing these things, you know? Yep, if this video made your channel because this is a brand new game for a brand new audience, what up? Alright, I'm MrPokke. This is going to be our day 3 progression as a free-to-play. As you can see over here, I'll flex this like a goddamn badge as a complete free-to-play player right here in Etheria Restart. I've been playing this game extremely extensively for the past 72 hours to the point where I'm even forsaking my duties as being a good teammate for the upcoming Wuthering Waves and all. Okay, you guys don't need to know that. The only thing that you guys need to know is I think for myself as a complete free-to-play, my progression so far has been relatively nice, if I can say so myself, right? So we have cleared all the way in terms of our Dreams Pursuit for our shells, and then we are gonna be more or less done for Nightmare Terramaton. Doki Doki is gonna be giving us a pretty difficult time because I have not built a specific unit for this team yet. And then for our EXP, we just cleared level 27, so this is the brand new wave of the EXP farming stage. For our GP outpost, we have pretty much done both cases of Nightmare Tree for green, dark, and light. For blue and red, it was a little bit rough, but most of the time, if I'm gonna be farming for the GP outpost, this is the one that I do full auto very consistently. And then after this is going to be the rest of the stuff. Amber Trek is a brand new Abyss challenge. It's a Abyss challenge that is, yeah, as the name suggests, it is like a sort of like an end game content that will refresh within 1 month. I have not yet tried this at all, but you do unlock this upon, I believe, level 25, right? Which is also the same time you are going to be unlocking your Summit Arena and the Fearless Arena, both of which being the real-time arena combat, which you can play PvP and absolutely destroy the filthy pay to win wheels because you are the best free-to-play player in the entire world, right? So yep, level 25 is gonna be like a pretty big stopping point where a lot of things will be unlocked to you as a player. So let's just talk about a little bit what are the things that you're probably doing or not doing intentionally that are breaking your Etheria restart progression. And the first of which is, if you have not yet raised Grey, you are doing something wrong. This unit, he must be raised. I don't care what anyone says. This guy is way too strong. In fact, he is my only unit that I slammed all in on the level 3 as of this comment. I legitimately went all in on this guy and I use him almost everywhere. In PvE, PvP, every single possible stage. If I can bring Grey, I'm bringing Grey, right? Because he deals a ridiculous amount of damage. If you guys play Honkai Star Rail, he is very similar to Jingliu, which gives your entire team, not just one unit, a 30% crit rate buff, making pretty much any of your DPS a lot easier to deal damage. On top of that, he himself has ridiculous damage by himself on top of a defense reduction. And if you're going to be using PvP, right? The thing with PvP, especially if you are playing this game for like the RTA aspects, the general consensus is so far, almost every single player, they are gonna be first picking or first banning Lian. You will almost never ever see your Lian in play ever, right? Because Lian is like the DPS that everybody will have. So when the moment if you lose your main DPS that is Lian, you pretty much don't have any other options to play anymore, which is where your Grey will come in, right? So even in PvP aspects, your Grey, if you build him properly, he is gonna be dealing absolutely ridiculous damage, even if the enemy either picked Lian or banned your Lian, right? So in PvP, he's also really good. And speaking about the actual build for Grey himself, I highly recommend you guys to just slam in your crit stats instead of building him like a debuffer. I wouldn't give him like speed set with like effect accuracy and everything, all in crit rate, because apparently the way this debuff works is that on a critical hit, you inflict defense down. This is on a critical hit. So if you do not inflict a critical hit, you don't get this, right? So you actually really want him to be on crit, and since if you are gonna be building crit on him in the first place, you might as well just make him a DPS, right? So that's exactly what I did. He's been doing God's work in both PvE and PvP content, doing ridiculous damage. So I highly recommend you guys to cook up the Grey, right? Second thing, as of day 3, you should be able to get yourselves a 6-star Lian. what I did was basically going into the arena shop over here, because there are a couple of these shops that allow you to buy out these things, right? Your orange shadow print, as well as even red shadow print. I would say, because this thing is gonna be resetting in one day, especially for your union shop, highly recommended to clean up, especially your perfect lettuce, right? Maybe your pools. But I think these are like super important, because the thing with Lian is, right, eventually by the time, I'm not sure when, but you're probably gonna be able to reset Lian completely for free, right? This is at the end of 4 days. So if you do want to reset Lian and just change, you know, get everything back and just raise another DPS, you could, because you can just funnel back everything. So if you miss out on the red shadow print, you're technically missing out on a potential 6-star, which you can obtain at a very early start of it, which I guess players probably already done, which is if you reroll, right? If you reroll for like multiple SSRs, you go for like a lot of different SSRs, you want to build every one of them to like level 5, you're gonna find yourself not having enough of the orange shadow print to build your very first 6-star, and that most likely will be Lian, because this is also part of your it's part of your hyperlink charter anyway. If you take a look at your Lian, you need to bring bro up to 6-star eventually. Wait, where is the part where you get a 6-star? Right, essentially what the case is, you need a build up, right? So highly recommended to reduce the diversity of your unit pool in the current stages of the game, and only log into like a few select units, especially getting this to 6-star by the time you reach day 3, right? So that is pretty much gonna be the thing. And yep, so far, even though she's getting pretty much perma-ban, the perma-first pick in PvP, you will still use her for pretty much every single PvE content, especially for Terra Maton, all of the farming stages, in terms of Nightmare, your GP outposts, right? Your GP outposts, because these are one of the most efficient places to farm right now, especially when you have enough of the experience order. So Lian is gonna be a absolutely diabolical pick, right? So that's pretty much it, right? Other than that, all your 5-stars, right? If you're lucky enough to get Heinrich, right? If you're lucky enough to get Freya, right? If you get like any of these other 5-stars, I would say even I myself, I didn't really do that good of a job, because I might have divested a little bit, because some of the 4-stars here actually give you like ridiculous value. For example, Sanya, I have been told by my chat that she actually sustains even better than Mia as a SR sustain. And for units like Marvel, right, I just got him. He has like the utility of a goddamn 6-star. So on top of all these, some of these SRs, they are like also a lot cheaper to raise. So for example, if you want to raise up Marvel, right, you actually consume a lot lesser than these special materials, as well as your shells, your prowlers, your tracers. You only consume these purples, which are like also very difficult to obtain, because you have been playing this game for long enough. These things, they are like super rare. So it is almost impossible to raise up multiple SSRs with maxed out skills, compared to just raising like a handful of select SSRs and actually bring up your SRs to it. So notable units, your Marvel, your Sanya, your Dine, right? Your basically your pet out for defense down. I believe a couple of armies are also really good. I think Kraken is super good for your crowd control. I believe this guy does ridiculous single target damage for like shells. I think this is like almost a Mars race for a Doki farming. So there are a lot of ads on this game that are like really fucking strong, and they are not even like worse alternatives to a 5-star. They are straight up like the better version, because it's cheaper to raise, and I'm going to be using them at a much more earlier pace compared to bring up your different respective SSRs. So that's pretty much going to be it. And the next point, which is I actually noticed this today, which is if you were to go into a stage and you fail, I was initially told you could press pause, restart, and then retry the stage again, and you wouldn't get hit with the -1 stamina. I'm not sure if my editor can put in the clip, but turns out that's not the case. The moment you press restart when you end in the battle, or right before you fail and you press restart and do again and you exit the stage, it will always consume -1 stamina. And I actually did not know this until today. So first of all, this is, in my opinion, this is a horrible mechanic. I hope that they remove this. I don't know why are people getting punished for like -1 stamina, because 1 stamina is 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes to get 1 stamina. So really bad. But in any case, I would highly recommend avoiding spamming retries on like a difficult stage, because every single time you fail, right? Every single, for let's just say I want to try Nightmare Tree. Every single time I fail this, that's -1, -1, -1, -1, and it will add up substantially over time. So at least keep that in knowledge. There's no way for you to mitigate this at all, right? Because I've been told that if you press pause, restart, it actually doesn't work. But it does, right? So you're always -1 on retry. So there's no need to push for the hardest difficulty if you can't clear it as of this current moment. So right now, for example, I am farming my shells in the hard difficulty for Peep, right? Because Nightmare difficulty, I have like a 50% success rate. So if I were to pass 50% of the time and fail 50% of the time, that's gonna be -5 stamina every single time I fail, right? So which is really not that good. So I would say just go with the thing that you can consistently fuck my fucking life, guys. Holy, that's -2 stamina, alright? Oh my, bro, I literally had 100% success before this. Okay, you know what? It is what it is. Did we get a good set? Ooh, that's pretty good. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, it is what it is. But yeah, just try not to go for stages that are gonna be failing, because every single fail is going to be -1 stamina, right? So that is pretty much it. Next point, which is in terms of your stamina progression, right? And how exactly do we here? So first of all, I am completely free to play, and I have hit level 27 as of, I think this time recording is in the middle of day 3. I still stand by the fact that going for max refresh, even as a free-to-play, is worth it. Because I think you guys also have seen from a lot of different creators, Etheria Restart have this thing called the 2 times, like the bonus drop events, right? Which is also another reason why do not spend your stamina potions, because the double buff events for like whatever of these drops, which they're gonna be releasing, you're gonna be getting a lot more mileage by spending your stamina on those places, because you're literally getting like double the efficiency and you get a lot better drops, right? So because of this double drop events, the faster you progress, it means that by the time these double drops happen, you would be able to farm at a much more efficient pace. So let's just say you did not max refresh, you're still level 20, right? By the time the double drop event happens, you are probably still stuck at like like outpost 1, like hard 3 or like hard 2. Compared to somebody that do max refresh, they can actually farm at a much better pace for like Nightmare Tree, Hell 1, or the same thing can be said for your shells, modules, and anything, right? So me personally, I think even as a free-to-play, max refresh is completely worth it. Because like I mentioned in my first video, even if you spend all your pools, all your gems for units, it's not like you can even raise them. I have so many different units. Even right now, I can't even raise them because I either don't have the resources or I have no place for them in the early game because they need so much investment, right? So having a more tighter, right, a tighter roster, but having a faster, like more like depth in terms of the progression, I think that's gonna help people's account progress at a much more efficient pace in the grand scheme of this. Of course, if you're just like putting this game for like, you know, collection purposes, just to have fun, it doesn't really matter. I'm looking at this from the landscape of like how efficient can I be with my stamina and my time playing this game. So that is gonna be my personal opinion. Take it as you will. Last thing before I end off this quick little update, which is for the PvP, right? I highly recommend just do it, because this Fearless Arena, it happens only during the weekend, right? It only happens during the weekend, and it has a lot of these things that are like really good, right? So the Perfect Lattice, the Orange Shadow Print, right? The ML summons, the normal summons, just do them. Even if you hate PvP, right? Just do them. There are almost no reasons why you wouldn't do this, even if you're like a complete free to play. I'm a complete free to play, right? If people first pick Lily and they like just shit me, it is what it is, right? Just do it, because like these things, as of this time recording, for the ET Arena is already resetting in 1 day and 18 hours. This thing resets at the end of the month, but a lot of these shops, they are going to be resetting. There is no reason for you to avoid these. Like even if you lose, playing them will give you like ridiculous good benefits. So like this Perfect Lattice, it is like almost a mass pool, to the point where I think I've been told that people do max refresh on normal arena just to get this Perfect Lattice, because this is going away in 1 day and 18 hours, which I'm probably going to be doing once I end this video. So yep, just do them. For these summons, right? I think as of this point, after playing this game for 3 days, it's a little bit like skeptical of like, do you go all in on perma, or do you save a little bit and do the Freya pools? Because the Freya pool, as of this point, you can get Sanya. And Sanya is a sustain that is like super good for like almost every single one of the content. So just for like these 3 SRs alone, it does bring you quite a decent value for Freya. And I do believe that she still serves a very good purpose in pretty much all of your endgame content, right? But that being said, perma banner, you still get access to, you know, bastard ass units such as your Mia, your Lily, your Heinrich, you know, your Marvel, etc. So me personally, I would say probably your first 70-80 summons, I would dump it into this banner and just try to gamble your luck a little bit and see if you can get any of the good MLs, right? Or maybe if possible, you could even get Freya here, right? You can literally get Freya from the perma banner here. After you're done and you realize that you have nothing good, right? You have no Sanya, no Freya, nothing. You got yourself like a, I don't know, you got a Shadow Sanya, and you got like Dorothy the Wisher and Rin, right? And you just have nothing good. I would say probably go back and dedicate your pools back to Freya, because Freya is gonna be, she's tried and tested, and all of the SRs here, they're also really good. The one thing that I'm for sure is this banner, and this banner, there's no need to summon, because your normal pools for these, right? They are 3 times the price of your non-original. How do you see it? It's 3 times the price to get this for ML banners compared to non-ML banners, which is light and dark. So it's definitely not worth it. And then for the targeted summon, this thing doesn't have an expiration date, right? So you can always just wait and see, because 40 summons is guaranteed. So you can just see, wait, and what kind of SSRs are you missing towards the end of the game. Me personally, I think if all else fails, Real Mocha, whatever, this unit will probably be the best pick, because she is almost a must for your Doki farming. There are almost no other green DPS that's as efficient as her, and Doki is gonna be like a stage where you're gonna be fighting for a very long time anyways, so I am probably gonna be going for this, unless I just, you know, find some kind of alternatives in the future, right? But for now, it's either her or you want to go for a Rosa, sure. But at the end of the day, there's no rush, right? There's legit no rush. You just chill and wait, because you are still building up all of the other units anyways. So that is pretty much what I'm gonna be going for, right? One last thing before I bounce, which is, where should you be dumping your progression in levels, right? So between EXP, GP outposts, threshold, these the top 4 rows, right? I think in terms of priority, the moment you can do Nightmare 3 consistently, I would just dump everything here for like a good amount of time, because these trace materials, they are like super important to upgrade. They're basically permanent upgrades. So there are almost no reason, because the next upgrade to this is going to be level 28. Right, and this is gonna be, I'm not sure how much more difficult it is. So between level 23 to level 27, I was almost dumping all of my stamina into these trace materials, right? And then once you unlock your Green Pursuit, which is going to be Fabian, I personally think Fabian is quite nice because of these 2 first, what a red again? The yellow peeps, right? The yellow shells, the yellow pet system. These 2 are gonna be quite nice, because the next upgrade at level 28, I don't think they are that much better. So if you can farm this consistently, I would try to get a couple of sets for the Twilight Knight as well as the Black Flag, at least for your DPS as well as support. And then eventually going forward, when you unlock a Rico Noka, this White Fang will be the next big one where almost every single DPS will be utilizing. So I would say if you can farm this, then definitely go for it. This is, in my opinion, the lowest priority, right? This is the lowest priority, because gears, in terms of like upgrades, they are nice, but if you bring it up to like a very high level, like +9, +12, +15 for all these kind of things, you only get back 40% refund if you feed them into your future gears, and you're always going to be upgrading to better and better quality. You can see it goes all to the Inferno. So it's like a very long time in terms of like end game. Whereas for like your shells, you actually get back, I believe, 70 or 75%. So even if you wasted a little bit for like your early game shells, like your blue or purple shells, it's not that bad because you can always just get back more value. And also shells technically give you way more raw stats compared to relics. It is like the equivalent of farming for light coins. It is the equivalent of light coins in Honkai Star Rail. They give you a lot of raw stats inclusive of speed. So all of your percentage bonus, your attack bonus, speed bonus, HP bonus, they are all dependent on the raw stats you're going to be getting for shells. So in my opinion, in terms of the priority, shells as far as you can once you reach Fabian. Otherwise, GP outposts and EX. I think EXP in the early game is fine because you actually get back a couple of these other materials which can actually help you a little bit in terms of progression as well. So it's not that bad. But by the time you reach around level 23-ish, where you can farm Nightmare Tree, I think that's when you can just go all in for your GB tracers, right? So yeah, that is what I have been dumping my stamina on. Going forward from level 27, going to day 4, I'm still dumping most of my drops into, I am guessing for shell up until level 28, and I'll see how far I can get for level 28 because that's going to be the next progression for your GP, right? So yeah, that is going to pretty much be it, I think. Did I miss anything? Nope, that's pretty much right. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you still playing? Who are you pulling for? Are you reroll? Oh, don't reroll. Rerolling this game, in my opinion, it serves zero purpose, right? I mean, it's easy for me to say because I have Heinrich, but I generally think every single second you spend rerolling is like 1 second you could be done farming, and farming for better relics and better progression is way more important than getting like that Lily or that Heinrich or that Mio or whatever. So that's it. Word of the day is going to be Bubbin, right? Join Twitch, join Discord, join Kick. All the best for Gacha Pools. You code Poke for 10% off Gamer Subs, and I'll see you guys next time.